Hello everyone, this is ZeroRaptor coming back at you with another review video. Today I'm going to review JackSepticEye's Long Island Strawberry Green Tea. Now last time we did his Irish breakfast, which was a little disappointing. Hopefully this will turn out alright. This one's a green tea. So green teas typically are a level lower than black teas in terms of the amount of caffeine that's in them. So this shouldn't keep me up too much. I mean, green teas, they typically do have a good amount of caffeine to keep you energized throughout the day. But the difference between green tea and black teas is like it's like a more gradual release of caffeine throughout the day, whereas black tea hits it at you all at once. The amount of caffeine in teas is not as bad as coffee. Coffee is like really up there. But teas, like typically the caffeine in there is a slow release. That's what I was trying to say. So you're not going to get the crash as you typically would with coffee. But you're still, with black teas, like the caffeine content is still up there. So just like the Irish breakfast, this one also comes in a bag. So just like the Irish breakfast, it comes in these pyramid bags. Pyramid bags allow you to consume better quality tea because loose leaf is like the best method to drink tea. And also, these are supposedly biodegradable because a lot of high quality tea companies, they do use these mesh bags. So yeah, first off, we can see it's actual loose leaf, not like the Irish breakfast, which looked like, it wasn't like tea dust, but it was getting there. It's not like true loose leaf. Like it was like really like bits and pieces of it. Stick it in there. Green teas typically don't take too long to steep, so this should be very quick. It says here to steep for 3 to 5 minutes, which I feel it's kind of long for a green tea, because green teas, the leaves are a bit more delicate than a black tea, because black tea you can steep it like 3 to 5 minutes. 10 minutes is really pushing it, but 3 to 5 minutes for a black tea makes sense because it's like more concentrated. But with green teas, a lot of green teas, you steep it for like 2 minutes max. It's because once you go past the 2 minute mark, then it gets really, really bitter. So I'm kind of curious as to why it says 3 to 5 minutes for a green tea. But I'll do 3 minutes. I mean, it's already starting to infuse into the water. Yeah, I'll do it 3 minutes, but I feel like 3 minutes is still a little high for a green tea. All right, so we've got 3 minutes. I'm gonna take that out. I mean, it looks good. That's like your typical color for a green tea. Get all that green tea goodness out of it. Go. Stir that up a little bit. So far, it's kind of good. Let's give it a try. Good aroma. Very floral. That's what you expect from a good green tea. Okay, it's not bitter, which was what I was a little concerned about, having to brew it for like 3 minutes minimum. But yeah, I think what was it? I think the strawberry helps with that a lot. Green tea, papaya, strawberry pieces, and natural flavors. Okay, papaya in here. I'm not really getting much of the papaya. I am getting the strawberry. So the thing about herbal teas, which is like what a lot of fruit teas are, it's really kind of hard to infuse it in like a traditional brew because like the hot water, it doesn't really, like it's hard for hot water to get flavor out of fruit pieces because like it's fruit, it's like very thick. So usually it's like cold brewing is the way to go when you're dealing with fruit teas, because cold water just, it's a lot easier for it to infuse flavor rather than hot tea, which is kind of weird because you think hot tea, like, oh, it's going to, like, boil the fruit, get the flavors out. But I think by boiling the fruit, it actually diminishes the flavor because you're boiling it away as opposed to like cold brewing. So traditionally, I don't do milk. Like, I know in the previous video when I was reviewing the Irish breakfast, I had a little thing of milk. Typically, I do drink milk when it comes to black teas. Green teas, I don't really take it with milk. I know everyone has their own way of drinking teas, and you can certainly put milk in green tea as well. But for me personally, I don't really do milk with green tea. But I will do sugar. Because sugar, it really helps bring out the flavor of the tea. And it also helps if you accidentally overbrew your tea. You can use sugar to like make it not as bitter. Like sugar and milk will really help if you overbrew your tea. But I mean, ideally, you don't want to overbrew your tea. Always have yourself on a timer. Everyone's got a smartphone these days. Even the cheap ones will have the timer. Let's try it with the sugar. Okay, I'm getting more of the strawberry. A little hint of the papaya. I'm not really getting much of the papaya, which is good. It's not too bad because I mean you're trying to drink a green tea. You're not trying to drink a fruit tea. I mean, even though it's got fruit pieces in it. Like, yeah, I can see the strawberry. I think that's a bit of papaya in there. But yeah, it's a good tea. So from the Irish breakfast to this one, this is actually a pretty good improvement. Now, I also prepared a cold brew, like a typical cold brew. I steeped it at room temperature for 30 minutes, and then I transferred to a fridge overnight. So for today, I'm going to be using my old butterbeer mug, because why not? Okay. It's like a very, very subtle scent. Like, it's not going to, of course, you're going to get a stronger scent factor when you're doing a hot brew, but the cold brew is like not too, it's not that big of a difference either. And then you can see what the cold brew is like the color profile is pretty similar if you do it right. If you don't do it right, it's going to be a bit different. Right. It's very refreshing. A lot of the floral notes of the green tea is coming through a lot more in the cold brew. I'm getting more of the papaya in here. So with the traditional brew, you're gonna taste more of the strawberry than the papaya, but here, like, I'm actually tasting the papaya a lot more. Oh yeah, that's actually pretty refreshing. Although there's a bit of a bitter aftertaste to it, because cold brewing takes a long time. Usually it's typically 6 to 8 hours for a cold brew. The green tea is going to be steeping in there for a lot longer. So it's going to be a little bit of bitterness, but it's not too bad because it's got fruit in there. And yes, you can add sugar to your cold brew tea as well. I mean, there's a lot of iced teas out there that do have sugar in it. So just be aware. Just because it's tea doesn't mean it's automatically healthy. Like, you gotta check the sugar content too. So in conclusion, the Long Island strawberry green tea is a thumbs up for me. This one's a significant improvement from the Irish breakfast, which is a little still kind of disappointing coming from an Irish YouTuber that the Irish breakfast wasn't up to the standard that I expected to be. But overall, this has been pretty good. Hot brew, cold brew, this one's good. So I would recommend this. I don't know about steeping for 5 minutes though. I would say 3 minutes max, because with the hot brew, like, Like it's not bitter, but it's getting there. So I would not recommend going any more than 3 minutes with this tea. Again, if you overbrew it, sugar and milk is usually the way to go to fix a mistake. But if you want the best flavor, I would say 2.5 minutes should be perfect for this tea. 3 minutes I feel is pushing it, but 2.5 minutes should be good. So anyways, that'll be all for now. Until next time, this is ZeroRaptor signing off. Laters.